5 tips for resellers with ADHD to help you be more productive. Now, I was going to do 10 tips, but then I figured if you have ADHD, there's no way you're gonna sit through 10 tips. So I boiled it down to the top 5. So the first one is to make sure you are making use of the 2-minute rule, especially to start your day. And what that means is that if you could find tasks around you that could be done in 2 minutes or less, do those tasks and do them now. So whether it's just taking a shirt and putting it in a poly mailer and then just taping it up and getting it ready to go out, that's a less than 2-minute task. Or if it's just pulling a piece of inventory that's sold, thanks Pam for the birthday present, or if it's just taking some measurements of something that you're going to list later, or getting some weights jotted down on your packages, get those things done fast. They help to prevent procrastination because they get you moving. In addition to that, they help prevent you from getting overwhelmed with this giant to-do list that then becomes unmanageable. Once you knock those smaller things out at first, then what you could do later on in the day is tackle those bigger tasks. And even for those, you could break those down into smaller chunks. So let's say, for example, you wanted to list all of these coin books, but they were all out of order. You didn't know if you had doubles or not. You just picked up a big lot. Just take as your first step going through these, making sure you don't have any doubles, getting them in alphabetical order, see if there's any stickers you need to pull off or anything like that. And then later on, you could set up your photography listing, or maybe the next day. Remember, everything doesn't have to all be done at once. Number 2 is to manage distractions better. Does this scene look familiar to a lot of you? Look at all these Post-it notes that are scattered all over the place. This just becomes a big problem, especially for people with ADHD, because in ADHD, visual distractors are the enemy. So what you need to do is you need to come up with a system that minimizes those distractions. So rather than having all these scattered notes all over the place, what you want to do is consolidate them into a small portable notebook that you could carry around with you. Now it could be bigger than this if you'd like. It could be in the format of a daily planner or organizer, whatever you want, but just don't have all of those scattered visual distractions around you. Now it's not just those types of distractions, it's also distractions coming from your phone. So those notifications that are pinging all day, those are audio and visual distractions. And sometimes what you need to do is set yourself some concentration goals where you're just going to have a 15-minute period of pure focus by eliminating all of those types of distractors. So shutting off your phone and making sure you're shutting off your notifications or minimizing them to the ones that are the most essential. If you know that there's someone who comes and interrupts you and bothers you during your workday because you have an open door policy, start closing the door. Visual distractions, again, one more thing, you got to make sure you keep your work area clean. So if you look at my work area right over here, look at this. There's a bunch of mess that started to pile up. I don't want that. I got to clean that up. I'll be able to focus much better. Watch. So as you can see, a clear physical space means a clear mental space. The only thing I have to worry about is where Godzilla went off to. Godzilla, what are you doing? Oh my God. All right, now tip number 3, make sure you're focusing your tasks and activities in your business on things that you enjoy, that you have fun with, that you get pleasure out of. These are the types of things that are going to help you maintain your attention and concentration. Think about it. If you don't like what it is that you're doing, it's going to be very difficult to pay attention and concentrate on it and sit still, even if you don't have ADHD. Now, this is why parents of kids with ADHD will often notice that while their kid struggles paying attention and concentrating and sitting still in a classroom or when doing homework, they're just fine when they're playing a video game. The reason for that is that the video game is very rewarding. They're accomplishing things really quickly along the way. Cue to point one. They're also getting stimulation from all sorts of cool sounds and all sorts of cool visuals that they're seeing. And, there's all sorts of cool, pleasurable emotions that they're experiencing during the game. That helps to stimulate a chemical in your brain known as dopamine. So it's like a self-medicating activity practically. So in your reselling business, let's say you have a slight interest in clothes, but you don't really like it, but you bought a bunch and you're spending a lot of time focusing on listing them, but you're not getting a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's hard to get started with it because of that. Don't focus on that. That should be a smaller part that you do. Focus on what you love, what you really enjoy. So for me, that would be comic books. That's what I have the most passion about. So I spend a lot of my time doing that. For the stuff that you don't like, try to either put it off until later on in the day or delegate that activity to someone else. Tip number 4. Structure, 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 structure. Structure is one of the main components to helping people who have cognitive impairments resulting from any type of neurological problem, whether that's ADHD or something else. Structure comes in many ways. One thing that you could do in your business is to try to do something the same type of way every day. So your morning starts out a very similar way, so does your afternoon, and so does your evening. Or you could do it that every Monday you have a certain way you do things, every Tuesday is a certain way, every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and your weekend might be, set up a little bit differently, but you try to keep things to a similar structure based on a theme. If you have somebody in your business that could help you stay on task, whether that's a spouse, whether that's a business partner, whether that's an employee, whoever it is that you can trust to keep you on task. Some people, if you have the funds, they'll hire what's called an executive coach to keep them on task. Using a calendar is very helpful to accomplish this. This is my own calendar that I like to use for my own things. And then there's other things like the to-do lists and the structured daily organizer that you could use as well. All those things are important because in ADHD especially, unstructured activities are the enemy. That doesn't mean that you can't take time for yourself. In fact, that's actually very important, is to plan in rest breaks if you have ADHD. However, listen to what I said. Plan them in. Actually structure in the downtime and the rest breaks so that you don't completely go off tasks. Dad jokes told here. Where do you go if you get hurt playing peekaboo? The ICU. All right, tip number 5, it's very straightforward, but it's important. If you have a bunch of pent-up energy that's causing you to get distracted and to go off task, then what you need to do is figure out a way to release that energy in a productive way. Now, maybe you could find a way to do that that's going to help out your business. So something that gets you moving, something that involves physical activity. Maybe it's something as simple as just cutting up a bunch of cardboard or adjusting some boxes that need to be moved, or just adjusting and moving around some inventory into different places. The point is you're getting up, you're doing things, you're getting that energy out. You're not just sitting there and getting more and more tense. Very important. Now, if you don't have something at the moment that you could do that's physical related to your business, then try to do some exercise. Take a little bit of time away from the business to help your business. That's another important concept. So, if you could go to the gym when that's allowed in your area, then that's something you could do. Or just go around your neighborhood for a walk. Maybe you have a dog that you need to walk or something like that. Do those things. Really important. All right, well, if you made it this far, huge congratulations. If you're looking for more tips, well, you're in luck because I have another video you should check out on 10 time management tips that could help you with your reselling business. I'll link to that right up top. I also have an important video you should check out on 10 organizational hacks that can help you with your reselling business, whether you have ADHD or not. Now, I know some people watching this are saying to themselves, well, I have a problem with attention, but it's ADD, not ADHD. ADHD stands for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, whereas ADD would stand for attention deficit disorder. However, in our diagnostic Bible in the DSM-5, they're all called ADHD with specifiers depending on what is the main problem. So if the person mostly has problems paying attention, it's still called ADHD, but it's called ADHD predominantly inattentive type. If it's mostly a problem with hyperactivity and impulsivity, then it's called ADHD predominantly hyperactive / impulsive type. If it's all of those things together, it's called ADHD combined type. So problems with attention and hyperactivity / impulsivity. If you're wondering how I know all this stuff and you didn't already know, I work as a board certified neuropsychologist in a hospital. I assess adults and children, sometimes for ADHD. So I will sometimes make that diagnosis and also make recommendations. And I have noticed over the last few years that a lot of resellers have told me that they either think they have ADHD or they were diagnosed with it, or ADD. And I actually did a poll on my YouTube channel. Some of you may have seen it. 45% of resellers said they were either diagnosed with or thought they had ADHD or ADD. So it's an important area. A lot of people asked me to make a video about this when I said I might do so in passing. So here it is. And now I am going to go let some energy out and take Daisy for a walk. She just got a new haircut. So let's go check her out. Hey, look at Daisy's haircut. Are you tired? We got to go for a walk. You got your bow tie on. Look how cute you are. All right, let's go. Let's get some energy out, Daisy. Springtime's coming, Daisy. I could smell garage sales in the air. Wow, that was an awesome walk. I feel great. Like I said, I could smell garage sales in the air. I could feel it. I cannot wait to go out and start doing those treasure hunts again. So for those of you missing those types of videos, I promise they will be coming again soon. Now, two last things just to wrap up. If you think that you have ADHD or ADD, don't self-diagnose yourself with that. Go and get yourself evaluated by a professional. Now, most of the time when people think that they have ADHD or ADD, it's usually caused by something else. In fact, most ADHD clinics jokingly refer to themselves as the non-ADHD ADHD clinic. But regardless, the tips that I shared with you in this video and in the others should still help you out no matter what. The last thing I want to point out, I want to thank Beth from Pickin' Georgia Peaches. She sent me this postcard to get up on the postcard wall of fame. She's a member of the channel, so I'm going to link to her eBay store in the comments section and in the description section. So make sure you go check her out. I do that for everyone who is a member of the channel. So make sure you go check out membership and see all the exclusive perks that you could get, starting at just $1.99 a month. That's it. So that's it, everyone. I'm going to sign off. I will see you at the next one. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe.